Hi, my name is Marcus. Hi, from Anchorage, born and raised in Anchorage. Came here in '86. Well, actually '83. I went to St. Anthony. Then I went back to Anchorage. Then I started living here at the age of 18. I moved back and forth like LA and Vegas for months, but not years. So Maui's been my second home. A lot, a lot of stuff has been going on since since the age of 18. Well, first, I mean, like I was born and raised in Anchorage, but I was adopted at the age of 2.5 by my mom, who was from France. So technically, I spoke French first, then English. So yeah, and
How was your upbringing?
it was Europeanish. You know, I had to eat a certain way, or I had to talk. You know, it was always proper, but yet Americanized also. So my mom, she was a single person. She was a French teacher at a community college in Anchorage, and she grew into language department and then the head of language department, so forth. So that was her passion, and she raised me by herself. But she had also a son, my brother. He's like 16 years older than me. So I didn't really see him when I was raised because he was not with us. He had also troubles as a kid. But to me, I think she raised me as best she could. You know, she's my mom. I lost her 2015, about the same year as my dad. What? Yeah, that's another story. But anyways, so I mean, she did the best she could. How I see it now, in my days, like so 68, I was born 70, 80, in the 80s, 70s and 80s. I was growing up as a child, so I don't think they knew what ADHD and ADD was. They called it a hyperactive child. And so I had a lot of, because I spoke French first, I had a lot of learning disabilities. So I was always active in class, but the wrong way. So she really couldn't handle me like she handled my brother. But, you know, I mean, like, I remember going to psychiatrists. I remember going to the doctors, getting EEGs. They said I had petit mal seizures, epilepsy a little bit. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on in my head. And probably, too, because as a baby infant, I was probably abused. So that's why my biological mother put me up for adoption, because her husband at the time wasn't my father, so he flipped out and did things. Because my dad, that I call dad now, said that it took me about 9 months to go inside of a bathtub. I would freak out, like literally, like. So my mom used to have to bathe me in the kitchen sink as an infant. So something happened, and I don't remember, but that's another. But anyways, so I mean, my upbringing, for what she was able to do, she did great. I mean, I wasn't like a bad kid to be a bad kid. I was just
Undiagnosed.
undiagnosed, and she didn't know how to handle it. So
It's a difficult situation for
yeah,
both.
and I mean, like, for her to be working many hours grading papers. I remember I used to go to the college with her, and I remember one time I was in the office and I was playing with matches, and it caught on fire. And luckily the German teacher was right next door, and she came in and said, "What are you doing?" I was playing around, like, you know, you know. So for her, I have the utmost respect for, raising I don't want to say tyrant kid, but like a kid that doesn't know how to handle throughout all those extreme things in the life that he had so far. And to be raised with a parent that's foreign, and she was a different color than me. She was white and I'm black, and I've never seen anybody like you see in the movies. But I don't know. I was a kid, so. But I never had that experience of you don't belong with that or anything like that. It was just the way it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's Alaska too, so it's not like back in the South or something like that. So it was more tolerable, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Like over here in Hawaii, like everybody's adopted. So I mean, I came. Okay, so my mom was supposed to retire in '83, and she got promoted. So I came here in '83 to go to St. Anthony because I was still in high school. I did the track and all that as a kid. And then she found out that she wasn't going to move over here, so I moved back with her. And then '86, I came here to live with my brother. And I stayed here ever since. But, like a couple of years in the mainland, like California, for my second recovery center, Teen Challenge. My first one was in Oahu, ARC. It was only like a 6-month program. And then you get 1 month for internship. So it's like basically a 7-month program. And I guess I wasn't ready because I was, 2005, I was in the mid-30s. So I wasn't ready. I mean, like the day I left Honolulu, I went to Kauai and I drank beer already. So I definitely wasn't ready. And then I started my college. I went back to Maui, and then I started going to college over here, UHMC. And I did the culinary program. So I did that, and then like in 2007, I was really messed up with. I was like the dorm RA, resident assistant. I would get all the mails for the people. I would unlock the doors. I would get paid for that, and my rent was low. So since I was the RA, I had access to all the party. I mean, it was that little dorm right down there, but now it's a housing project right not too far from the college. So I mean, like everybody knew everybody, and of course it was a party place. And yeah, I mean, and one of my teachers really disliked me, but now we're like so good friends because I switched. So I went to that was my second one. The California one was the Teen Challenge in Shafford, Bakersfield, Shafter, something like that. And then we resided in Riverside at the Benedict Castle, and that was a Christian-based program. So, but it was a 18-month program. So I did that, and then I was clean and sober for years, like almost 7 years.
So, what did your using days look like?
Okay, my using days in college was typical, drinking, and then once in a while do crystal meth, and then I got sober with that. But my last one on my accident because I had gotten into a moped accident and I started using the oxycodone,
Oxycodone.
oxycodone, and I got hooked on that. And then so one day I couldn't find my friend who had all those kind of stuff. She disappeared, and then I started using ice and beer. So I mean, like, then that just swirled down, and then so I went to another program, and I did pretty good there. I was sober for at least, I was going on my 6th year, and I got caught up in some drama, and then started using other drugs that I normally don't do. And at the very last end of it, I did crystal meth, and then I came out of MCCC for my 3-day stay there, and Eric was so happened to pick up another client for over here, and we saw each other and were like, "What are you doing?" No, I knew Eric before. He was the one not sober, and I was the sober one. But now it flipped over, and I mean, like, the odds of seeing him picking up a client for Mana was like strong, I was like, but he said he worked over here. He gave me the card. He said Star worked here, so it was like, what? And then so I went back home where I lived, and after a week of chaos, because I was really flipping out on this one, I called Star, and they picked me up, and I came here, did my treatment here at Mana for the 3 months, and then the 3-month IOP, and then I mean, when I was a client here, I mean, I was really stressed out about me being in another treatment for the 5th time. And then as I was listening to, the other clients, I was like getting really, I mean, like, what am I doing at another rehab center again? And then it's like, I believe this one clicked to me that it's time to stop. I mean, like, so I started, doing what is necessary. I mean, I found my sponsor. He's an old friend of mine. And then with the help of Mana, I got my psychiatry, got diagnosed what I really am. And then later on, I started getting therapy. So all the things that I needed to do was put in place that I wanted, is because I'm basically too old for this, this cycle of drugs and alcohol. And it's because the last time I did the crystal meth, I realized it's the same thing over and over. It's just a big, stupid circle that you can't break through unless you want to break through it. And so did the program, and then started doing IOP, and then I end up living at the alumni house, and then we had a staff that kind of really wanted me to work for Owen, and I was like, okay. But I have also anger issues, so the boss said, you gotta work on that too. So with the help of therapy and I pretty kind of managed it, but it's still there. We're still working on that. But as I see it, I mean, still each day is not a struggle for living. It's a learning to live better each day. Like they say, do better the next day and find out what you did wrong yesterday and then see if we can do it better today. And I'm a pretty slow learner, but I'm learning, each day and working here. And I could see like how I was as a client through the clients, and it's that helps me out too. But the meetings and the sponsor and all that, it coincides to live a better life than you would want.
What was different when you were a client, when you were at Mana, compared to your past experiences? And it doesn't have to be what makes Mana different. Like, what was like?
It wasn't Mana
Made it
different.
Yeah.
It was me different. Like,
Exactly.
it was the other ones that I went to was I'm just there. Like trying to.
So you felt defeated. And you felt defeated in regards to like, I'm done with this life.
Yeah, it's and I'm too old. I mean, like my age, it's just tedious going through like living it in a cart with tarps over you and trying to figure out how to cover yourself through the wind so you can light your stupid thing, or waiting for it. And it's just too much drama, being out there, and it's hopeless. And as I was listening to the people and then getting frustrated at myself for being here, I said I never want to be in a treatment center again. Not because I dislike treatment. It's just like I dislike trying over and over. I should just do it. Just figure out what I need to do to help me get better, instead of just going with the flow and just trying not to fly under the radar kind of thing.
Sounds like you got out of your old ways.
Yeah, and start listening to what they're saying in meetings, or like, I mean, it's just, I try to tell the clients, just stop what you're doing, just stop. Just be listening, just try to learn to listen to learn. Just focus on yourself. Don't worry about that one, or don't worry about this. Just it's like a school. I mean, like this treatment or any treatment that you want, it's like a learning skill so you can learn what to do out there. So instead of me getting angry at people, I just breathe and just like, why would I get angry for it? It doesn't make sense. And like a therapist would just like, you can let it all out on him, and they help you figure out what you can do and what you shouldn't do, or stuff like that. So
how was life after being a client? How is it being able to live your life clean, sober? I don't care how you refer to that, clean or sober. And how is it working
right now? It's
Mana?
like,
in regards to, so when I say how is it working at Mana, I don't mean like the interactions with the, like, how do you feel giving back to addict? How do you feel in this environment? Do you get to feel like yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you enjoy it? Like, stuff like that. You better say you fucking enjoy it. Get that.
I really enjoy doing this.
More like the.
Oh, yeah. So, no, okay, so all seriousness, but I mean, and also that's another thing too. I'm giving back not only to the community, but to the friends and family I have, knowing that I'm able to help another one that wants help and watch them. Like I've seen several grow, and you know, it's like, wow, they're doing it, and then they're going to have a life that they want with their family or with, you know, their job that they want. They can finally do it because I'm doing it right now. I mean, I'm going to the gym. I'm doing exercise. I'm doing what I need to do, or I should say, what I want to do in life. And that's not only my personal life, but I want to say career now, because later on I want to do other things than just be a house manager, which I can be helping out on like one-on-ones or whatever, you know. And I think, you know, that would be essential for not only me, but to help out the next person and watch them do what I did, grow, and see them with their family instead of being incarcerated or doing other things that they shouldn't do. I mean, to be with a family is very important for everyone. And that's the most important thing for me as well. Because my job is my family now. And to watch others grow in that aspect, it's something that hits you in your heart. So, I mean, you're going to get some guys that are just doing it to do it, but to see the other ones grow, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty, you know.
It's a good addiction to have.
Yes, rather than trying to find the next high, but you found one, watching them do what they need to do to get better in life. Because that's all we're here for, is to get the next person better. Because we don't want to see people in the streets or whatever, you know. We want them with their family or make a family.
If Marcus had a motto, what would his motto be?
I'm out, girls. Bye.
Yeah! All right,
Oh,
Marcus.